Unprecedented, unparalleled and unforgettable. That is how UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath today described the grand Ram Mandir consecration that is to take place on the 22nd of this month. The BJP is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that the Pran Pratishtha has a lasting impression on the public. The spotlight will definitely be on Ayodhya, but several simultaneous nationwide events have been planned to reach out to each and every faithful, from Kalash Yatras to Akshat Yatra and now a Luv Kush Yatra in Bihar. The attempt is to take everyone along as all roads lead to Ayodhya. In the national capital, senior BJP leaders today met to discuss the strategy in connection with the inauguration ceremony of the Ram Mandir. Sources say the Saffron Party is planning to highlight the religious and cultural significance of the Ram temple, the BJP's contribution to the movement, and the hurdles allegedly created by the opposition over the last 30 years in the Ram Mandir's construction. BJP booth workers have been told to facilitate darshan of all the faithfuls after the consecration ceremony. The 22nd itself will be celebrated by people in their own houses and temples as a grand Deepavali. But when any of these attempts and efforts are being carried out, there should be no discrimination, and the BJP workers have also been told don't use any party flag at any of these events. The spirit of the event is very clear. It should be a unifier. The Mandir message should be a unifier. The organizers, that's why, have also started distributing worshipped Akshat, rice grains mixed with turmeric and ghee, an exercise that will continue up till the 15th of January, a week before the D-Day. While giving the Akshat, people will be requested to gather at temples in their neighborhood on the 22nd of January to celebrate the day like a festival, as is happening in Ayodhya. According to the temple trust, their aim is to reach out to 5 crore people across the country. Let's turn our focus now on what's happening in Bihar. Here, a 20-day Luv Kush Yatra to Ayodhya has been started. Why Luv Kush? Because they were the sons of Hindu deities Ram and Sita, and in Bihar it is a political term for the alliance between the Kushwaha and the Kurmi caste. They are known as Luv Kush in political parlance. Starting from Patna, this yatra will travel through districts linked to the story of Ram and Sita and those with a sizable Kurmi and Kori population. State BJP President Samrat Chaudhary today flagged off the yatra and said, this is for everyone who believes in the message of Lord Ram.
We are at the BJP office and you can see the Luv Kush Yatra behind me, which has been flagged off by the BJP leaders. And now this bus will go to Ayodhya, moving from districts of Bihar and enlightening people about visiting Ayodhya and going to Ayodhya. You can see the branded Rath, which is at the BJP office here in Patna and is decorated and will go till Ayodhya, moving from about more than 22 districts of Bihar, and will reach Ayodhya. And while it will be crossing the districts of Bihar, the people related to this program will influence the locals to visit the Ram temple, which is being inaugurated on 22nd Jan. So this is the bus which is now leaving from Patna and will go to Ayodhya, has been flagged off by Samrat Chaudhary and the other leaders of the Bihar BJP. With the Luv Kush Yatra influencing people about the Ram Mandir, they'll also try to target a vote bank which is catered more by Nitish Kumar.
स्पष्ट तौर पर कल विश्व हिंदू परिषद के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हमको भी निमंत्रण देने आए थे। आदरणीय डॉक्टर आर एन सिंह जी, महामहिम राज्यपाल महोदय को भी उन्होंने दिया और उन्होंने स्पष्ट तौर पर कहा कि मैं बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री जी को, बिहार के पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री लालू प्रसाद जी को, सबको न्योता दूंगा। न्योता सबको मिलेगा, जाना ना जाना उनकी इच्छा है, लेकिन हम लोग सभी लोग, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी, विश्व हिंदू परिषद और संघ के विचारधारा के लोगों ने लड़कर प्रभु श्री राम वहां पर स्थापित हो, इसकी चिंता करने का काम किया था। हम सभी लोग भगवान राम का दर्शन जरूर करें।
So is it possible for a Ram Mandir to be a symbol of unity in our country? Because a lot of politicians would have you believe that this is the ultimate divisive political tactic. A lot has been said, a lot of politics has happened. So to help us cut through the clutter, we are joined by Vedic Scholar Dushyant Shridhar. Thank you very much, sir, as always, for speaking to us here on Times. Now, we live in very fractious times, so it's a little difficult to imagine that anyone is carrying out a yatra which aims to project the Ram Mandir as a unifying force. Do you think that's possible? Because of simply the history associated with the Ram Mandir. For example, Assaduddin Owaisi, he said, remember what happened to Babri, it will happen to other mosques. Can the Ram Mandir ever be a symbol of unity?
Namaskaram Padmaja, Namaskaram to all the viewers here. This 2024 is dawning for all of us with this beautiful temple at the Rama Janmabhoomi which is coming up. To your question, we need to see that in two aspects. One, with respect to Rama and Srimad Ramayanam, the text and the protagonist. So as a work, this work has united just not different parts of the Indian geography, but large parts of the Indian subcontinent itself. So one of the regional versions, which is older than one of the Tamil versions, is the Kakavin Ramayanam, which comes from the Javanese language. So be it the Ramayana in the Javanese language, to the Ramayana which is worshipped and revered in Thailand, to going till Cambodia and going till Persia, we have had different versions. So as a work, it has already united different corners of the subcontinent. And Rama, through a lot of the ideals that he lived, Dharmo Vigrahavan Adharma Viratim, says Vedanta Deshika. He was a personification of all dharma. In fact, one of the commentaries to the Ramayana is called Dharma Kutam, which talks about the various dharmic aspects in Ramayana. So as a work, it is a compendium on dharma, and Rama becomes a unifying factor. So undoubtedly, Rama and the Ramayana unite all. And we have seen that when people have watched the serial of Ramanand Sagar, even in the 1980s, where people from all religions have watched. Even the reruns of the serial were watched with such love and diligence. Coming to the political aspect of it, yes, there have been certain sections of the society, there are still certain sections of the society, especially the political society, that cannot digest the fact that this issue is resolved and there is peace. So they thought this will be a never-ending issue, this will be a perennial issue where people even in 3023 will be discussing. Some sections of the society, the political atmosphere never thought that there will be a legal solution to it and there will be a temple. So when they cannot digest the fact, it is better that they take a pill of Gelusil and they not give obnoxious comments on it.
Now, we were just talking about the yatra that is being carried out pan-India. One is the Akshat Nimantran Yatra, and then there is the mobilization that is being done to reach out to various sections of society. What really caught my eye, though, was the fact that you have the airport being named after Maharshi Valmiki. Now, even the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh today, when he spoke, he said that the cafeteria or the food hall, which will be operational for pilgrims, for bhakts in Ayodhya, will be named after Mata Shabri. And the guest house will be known as the Nishad Raj Greh Atithi Greh. What do you make of this focus on these figures, on Maharshi Valmiki, on Mata Shabri, on Nishad Raj? What's their connection?
Finally, there is some diligence that goes into naming these places that is to be appreciated, because Ramayana is just not about Rama and Sita. There is a melange of characters that add so much of bhakti and devotion to this beautiful work, which is of course the biography, a compendium on Prabhu Sri Ramachandra's life. One is Valmiki. Padmaja, to give a very mundane example, I'm not equating the works, to give a very mundane example, J.K. Rowling has more fans than the Harry Potter page. Why? Because it was J.K. Rowling who brought Harry Potter to light. Similarly is Valmiki. Tapasvadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvidambaram naradam paripapracha Valmikir munipungavam. This is the opening verse of Valmiki Ramayana, where Valmiki is celebrated as a tapasvi. Tapaha alochane dhatu, the one who used to keep contemplating. So this is a land where people have believed in internalizing and contemplating, and without Valmiki there is no Ramayana. Rama would have lived. Rama would have had a glorious life and a tragic life. But who brings all this to light? It is Valmiki. So it is an absolute tribute to the humble humility and the modesty of this great poet by naming the airport after Valmiki. Second, Shabari Tanda Kani Uvandu. I'm giving you an example from the southern part of the country. The Tamil work 1600 years back states, Shabari Tanda Kani Uvandu. What was the greatness of Rama? He consumed the fruits that were given with such love and hospitality by Shabari. So Shabari stands as a true beacon of Atithi Devo Bhava. And every temple in this temple just not serves prasadam to the Lord. That prasadam which is served to the Lord, which comes back, is served to the devotees. So calling the Anna Chatram, the Bhojanalayam, the place where people will be served food after Shabari, is of course something to be appreciated. And the last part, Nishadana Neta Kapikulapatihi Kapi Shabari Kuchela Kubjasa Vrajayuvatayoho Malya Kridati. The 13th century work called Dayashatakam celebrates the greatness of Guha, of Shringiberapura. He was a person who led a profession of ferrying people across from one part of the Ganga to the other. And he was the leader of all the tribals there. And when he met Rama, he fell at Rama's feet. That is when Rama says, Atma Samasakha, you are my true friend. Friends never fall at each other's feet. Come and give me an embrace. So, Guha stands as a perfect example of hospitality. Why not name the place where people are going to rest after Nishadaraj Guha? So I feel there's no politics in it, and people who create politics have neither read the Ramayana nor do understand the values and the virtues in this great work.
Because you speak of the Ramayana being all encompassing, however, there are several people who again and again say it is essentially the Ram temple, the religion as a whole stands for oppression. I'm sure you would have heard, but for the benefit of our viewers, I want to play out again what one of the MLAs in Bihar yesterday said. And he said, this is not me. This is something that Kabir Das ji said when he was referring to the legend of Brahmaji and Saraswati. Let's just listen to it. And can you please clarify what exactly did he mean and what did Kabir Das ji say? Listen.
कि सरस्वती जो सरस्वती है ब्रह्मा की बेटी है और ब्रह्मा जी का अपनी ही पुत्री पर नियत खराब हुआ और उन्होंने मतलब कि उनके साथ शादी कर लिया। तो आप खुद समझिए कि पूजा मतलब कि किसका होता है, चरित्रवान का या चरित्रहीन का। और ये भी चरित्रवान चरित्रहीन वाला बात मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूं, ये संत कबीर दास ने मतलब कहा है।
Dushyant Shridhar.
Okay. Yeah, Padmaja, by the records that we have in the Puranas like the Vishnu Purana and Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana, Ramayana is ascribed to the Treta Yuga. And Krishna Avatara, which is Sri Mahabharatam, is ascribed to the Dwapara Yuga. So there is a certain calculation to these two Puranic dates. By going by the dates given by the historians, a large number of historians in the last 70 years, Mahabharata is placed around the 3000 BCE period and the Ramayana is placed around the 5000 BCE period. So they have been slightly before the Indus Valley civilization, and the Ramayana is placed alongside the Egyptian civilization by the historian dates. Many incidents before that, let's take the avatar of Varaha, where the Lord appeared as a wild boar, as Nrisimha, as the man lion, as Vamana, where he came as a dwarf and then measured the worlds, as Kurma, as Matsya. All these incidents which happened before Rama and Krishna are treated in two ways. One, as an incident, and second, as iconography. They describe something of the cosmic creation. So when we speak about Brahma, who's treated as an intermediate creator, a person attains the Brahma's position by performing 1000 Ashwamedha Yagas. So in this context, the person whom you have mentioned, I don't know the person, I just heard him speak about the illicit relationship that Brahma had with his own daughter called Saraswati. There are references in the Puranas which is called Sutabhilakshanam, where it is said that Brahma in his creation did have a relationship with his own creation. Here what we need to understand is Vak, which is wording, the place, the way you speak, I speak, is what Saraswati denotes. And Pati, Vak, Pati. Pati means where creation comes into a combination. So this is a cosmic relation. That way, we all say all Indians are my brothers and sisters. Then what do? Do we have to marry our consorts from other planets? So here, it doesn't mean exactly a physical relationship. It talks about the meeting of the wordings, the lexicon with the body. So it has nothing to do with the XX and the XY allele coming together, nothing of the chromosomic relationship. If the person has understood it that way, then the person needs a serious workshop on Sanatana Dharma.
Or maybe he is doing it deliberately because it's politically more convenient. But there's another thing that he also spoke about when he was talking about the Ram temple and the relationship.
Maybe Padmaja, just a quick intervention. Just a quick...
Yes, please.
Maybe he's also doing because he knows for sure that his head will be attached to the torso on whatever he says. He can be rest assured about it.
We certainly hope so. We wish him very long life and health. Here's something else that he said, which I want you to listen to.
आप हमें बता दीजिए कि ब्राह्मणों का लिखा हुआ जितना भी ग्रंथ है उस ग्रंथ में कहीं हिंदू शब्द है क्या? अगर हिंदू शब्द है तो हिंदू का बात करिए। अरे भाई हम हिंदू हैं ही नहीं, हम 90% के लोग कथा कथित हैं, मतलब शूद्र हैं। हम शूद्र हैं और ब्राह्मणों ने शूद्रों को हजारों साल शिक्षा से वंचित रखा ताकि उन्होंने अपने पूर्वजों को पहचाने नहीं, अपना अधिकार नहीं समझे। उसी में 85% 90% शूद्रों को जगाने के लिए, अपना अधिकार समझाने के लिए इस कार्यक्रम को रखा है।
Ram Mandir is for Brahmins who naturally have been oppressing Shudras over the years. How do you respond?
Okay, very quickly, I'll just like to make 3 points. One, with respect to the comments that he has made. He says that the castes are real, but these castes are not integral to Hinduism, and we don't accept the word Hindu at all because the word Hindu isn't found in any of our scriptures. A very mundane example that I have to give is Padmaja. When there is a four-wheeled vehicle, you call it car. Only when there are competing brands, you would want to name that car with a certain name. When this all-encompassing Sanatana Dharma, which has various philosophies, theologies and Puranas and various Vidyasthanas under one umbrella came into picture, most other religions that we know of, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, Islam, Judaism, Christianity didn't exist. That is why we say this is a very age-old civilization. So there was no need for it to be called by a certain name. Point number one. Point number two. The word Hindu has two connotations. One, when people who came from the Middle East, Persia and some parts of Afghanistan had to cross into this geography, cross the Indus River, the Sindhu Shabdam is referred to as Hindu because in that language there was no Sakaram, so it became Hakaram. When accounts of Chinese are found, because we have reference to the word China, Chinam Shukaihi, even in Kumara Sambhavam and in Mahabharata. On the side of Duryodhana, we had an army of China fight. Udyoga Parva says this in Mahabharatam. So when accounts between the 1st and the 10th century CE, when many foreigners from the China country had to travel into this land, they referred to this land as the land where people are blessed with knowledge. Knowledge in Sanatana Dharma stands for stability, which is found in moon. Moon is referred to as Indu. So Indu was corroborated as Intu, which became Hindu. So this is the land of the intelligent people, so it was called Hindu. This was the land found on the other side of Sindhu, so it was called Hindu. So the person should first of all agree that he doesn't belong to this geography, and he should agree that he is not intelligent enough to be called a Hindu. If he agrees to these two conditions, then probably he can exclude himself as being called from the word Hindu. And the third last question that I have is, if he says that the word Hindu is not found, it is a corroborated word, then we have caste-based reservation only for Hindus. Then he should give up his reservation status as well, because all this reservation belongs only to the Hindu-based caste society.
I will just leave it at that. Sometimes it's just important to have some sanity prevail in the very fractious times we live, where even a Mandir consecration is not spared an abusive tirade. And for being that voice of sanity, Dushyant Sridhar, thanks for speaking to us. Quick break.